Hey guys, it's me, Troy Dellinger. Today's Sunday. It is December. We're at the end of the month. It's been, a blessed year, and we're prepping up for the new year, Lord willing. So, I've just been kind of chilling out watching football today because, I had to work yesterday, so I'm pretty tired. So I rested up today. I'm usually out and about on Sunday, but I didn't do really a whole lot today. So, yeah, I enjoyed the ball games today. I think that my the game that I really liked was the Steelers and Ravens game because the Steelers are my second favorite team. So I was pretty happy they got that win there. Pretty close game. I really thought the Ravens were going to score there at the end, but I was kind of glad that the Steelers stopped them. So that was a pretty important game. That was a divisional game for first place to go to the playoffs. So I was pretty happy that the Steelers got that win. Um, because like I said, I thought that the Ravens were going to win from the get go. The Steelers were kind of underdogs. They were in Baltimore, but great win for the Steelers. So right now, as of right now, the Steelers are in the playoffs, but nothing's officially set in stone. They still got to play the Ravens again. So I'm local to the Steelers, so I've been a Steelers fan since I was like 10 years old. So, but they're not my favorite team; they're my second favorite team. So, the Cowboys are my favorite team. So, every game is almost like a playoff game now. So, it's been pretty interesting to watch football, and I'm a little bit of a sports enthusiast, especially um, football. I like that's probably my favorite sport to watch. So, it'll be interesting to see the rest of the games coming up. So, um, the Bears Packers, I was rooting on the Bears because I wanted the Cowboys to get in the playoffs, so they're kind of competing for that spot with the Packers. But now the Packers won, they're in first place, so that was a pretty close game. Williams, he only needed 1 yard, but he got intercepted, got picked off. So now the Packers are in first place in their division. I'm not really sure who's got the number one seed right now because there was multiple wins today. I'll have to double check that. But the Chiefs and the Texans, man, that was pretty surprising. How the Chiefs have played this year. Um, so it's pretty surprising. I really thought that the Chiefs were going to be back in the playoffs, so it'll be kind of weird if they don't. But they have been playing good. Didn't play good today with the Texans, so I like C.J. Stroud. How he talked about Jesus Christ. I don't really know what his personal beliefs are or his salvation, but I was glad that seeing somebody talk about Jesus on a football game, that was pretty cool. But yeah, it looks like the Texans now are in the playoffs. It looks like the Colts got Daniel Jones injured. Pray he's okay, but um, yeah, pretty good game today for football.